Good morning, my dear children. This is P. Vasantakumar, social teacher from DAV High School, SDSTPS, AP Genco, Naltur. My dear children, today we are going to learn Rain in Rivers, Part 5th. Learning objectives. By the end of the chapter, you will be able to: how do we face the challenge in cyclones and floods? How can people meet the challenge of disasters like cyclones and floods? How can the people prepare for disasters? Dear children, let us learn how do we face the challenge in the cyclones and floods. Our state from Srikakulam to Nellore has a long coastline. It is regularly faced with extreme critical cyclones. When heavy winds blow from the sea, heavy rains lash the lands, and high waves make the sea very unsafe. Cyclones have a chance to occur in between June and December. One of the worst cyclonic storms in India had occurred in Andhra Pradesh in the year 1977 from November 14 to November 20th. The worst affected area were in Andhra Pradesh in the Krishna River Delta region. The island of Divisima was hit by a 6 meters high storm surge, killing 9,941 people. Hundreds of bodies were floating in the water, and bodies that floated beyond recognition were consigned to mass pyres. About 100 people who had left their home to seek shelter in a church in Bapatla village were killed when the building collapsed. Most lives were lost in Divisima, Krishna district. Recently, in 2014, Hudhud cyclones created a huge destruction in Visakhapatnam. Human beings have no control over cyclones since they are natural disasters. On the other hand, the impact of these disasters are heightened or lessened due to the way our society is organized and prepared. Now let us learn about cyclones and floods in more details. For example, when you see people in the vulnerable part of the land, you will find them as the poorest people who live there with the least resources to protect themselves. In the sea coast, there will be numerous huts that belong to the poorest fisher folk and the laborers, and usually the lowlands of the town and villages which get flooded are occupied by the slums of the poor. The poor people are the one who will be affected the most when the disaster occurs. When the floods or cyclones occur, automatically the flood water will mix with the drinking water, which gets polluted and is unsafe for drinking. If we drink unsafe water, what will be happen to our health? And particularly the poor people contract several diseases like cholera, dysentery, jaundice, etc. for the reason that they are forced to use polluted water. Only those with resources are able to arrange for safe bottled water to drink. After the occurrence of the cyclone, as roads will be damaged, it is very difficult to help the worst affected areas. Here, people are forced to depend on their own resources to save themselves. At the same time, as the instantaneous damage of the cyclones is heavy, such as loss of lives, crops, property, houses, etc., it may also cause permanent damage. For instance, the people who makes money with the animals, vehicles, food grains, etc. are destroyed. To go back to their work, they need to buy all these again. Families may lose their working members in the flood. Daily wage workers face loss of work for several weeks that results in the loss of source of income. Then it became poverty. Farmers too not only face loss of crops but also permanent damage to their lands. That means they unable to use land in future. Now let us learn the precautions that to be taken before the occurrence of disasters. How can people meet the challenge of disasters like cyclones and floods? It is possible by the long-term planning of governments and mutual aid among the people and government organizations. Government should warn the people, particularly regions that are most vulnerable, before the occurrence of disasters with the help of early warning system, since nowadays it is easy to predict the attack of natural disasters in advance. Government should provide the facilities to the people, such as building strong roads which are not easily damaged, and strong pakka houses for those living in vulnerable area like sea coast or along the rivers or in lowlands. Whatever time, if there is a forecast of cyclone or flood, food, water and medical emergency teams should be kept ready. Tune to your local radio or TV for warnings and advice. Ensure that everyone is alerted in case of a cyclone or flood warning. Keep an emergency kit ready at home. It should contain important papers, drinking water, some food material, food grains, currency, medical kit, and also the important numbers in a waterproof bag so that they could too be contracted during an emergency. When you get a cyclone warning through TV or radio, search the nearest available place where protection could be sought. Do not venture outside, especially into the sea. Close the doors and windows and stay at home. If the cyclone strikes while you are in your vehicle, stop, but keep away from the seashore, trees, electric poles and other objects. If the cyclone wind suddenly drops, do not venture out. Wait till all the clear announcement is made officially through radio broadcasts. Even after all the clear has been announced, take necessary precautions while moving to or out of your house. While you are moving into the water, look out for the snakes that may have come out of their holes. Do not enter floodwater. They may be too deep. While occurring a flood or a cyclone, as a student group, you can play a vital role in spreading awareness about the above precautions. Let us know what to do when have to move from our place. In case of cyclone or flood warning, we need to evacuate. Firstly, pack warm clothing, essential medication, valuable personal papers, etc. in waterproof bags to be taken with you emergency kit. Place furniture, clothing and valuable onto beds, tables and to the top of the roof. The electrical items must be kept at the highest place. Turn off power supply. Whether you leave or stay, put sandbags in the toilet bowl and over all laundry or bathroom drain holes to prevent. Lock your home and take recommended or known evacuation routes for your area. Do not get into floodwater of unknown depth and current. Let us take a precautions during floods. Drink boiled water or use halogen tablet to purify water before drinking. Keep your food covered. Don't take heavy meals. Do not let children remain on empty stomach. Use bleaching powder thoroughly and lime to disinfect the surroundings. Avoid entering floodwaters. If you need to enter, then wear proper protection for your feet and check the depth and current with a stick. Better stay away from water above knee level. The officials or volunteers distributing relief materials. Be very careful of snakes. Snake bites are common during floods. My dear children, I hope you understood this chapter in a proper way and thoroughly you watch all videos and make it successful this class. Thank you, my dear children.